Washington/Brussels, Reuters, Canada and Mexico retaliated with levies on billions of dollars of U.S. goods from orange juice to pork, and the EU was set to tax bourbon whiskey and Harley motorcycles, after Washington risked a global trade war to impose steel and aluminum tariffs. European Union Trade Commissioner Cecilia Malmström announced the bloc would take the United States to the World Trade Organization to challenge the legality of the new tariffs, saying negotiations with Washington were not currently possible. EU retaliatory tariffs were being prepared and would take effect from June 20 once backed by member states. She also announced a case against China at the WTO over the alleged infringement of intellectual property rights, saying the simultaneous action showed that the EU was being even-handed. We are determined to protect the multilateral system, she said. We are expecting everybody to play by the rules. President Donald Trump trademark's tariffs on Washington. Trademark's closest allies drew condemnation from Republican lawmakers and the country. Trademark's main business lobbying group and sent a chill through financial markets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average (DJI) lost 1% and the S&P 500 (SPX) shed 0.69% on Thursday. Shares of industrial heavyweights Boeing, BAN, and Caterpillar, CATN, both fell. Trade war fears drove Chinese shares lower on Friday, with the Shanghai Composite Index ending down 0.7%. European shares were lifted by a long-awaited deal to form a government in Italy, but still sharply down for the week. Tariffs of 25% on steel imports and 10% on aluminum were due to be imposed on the EU, Canada, and Mexico from midnight, 4 o'clock GMT on Friday. We look forward to continued negotiations, both with Canada and Mexico on the one hand, and with the European Commission on the other hand, because there are other issues that we also need to get resolved, U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said. Canada and Mexico, embroiled in talks with the United States to modernize the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, responded swiftly. Canada, the largest supplier of steel to the United States, will impose tariffs covering 16.6 billion Cordobas, $12.8 billion, on U.S. imports, including whiskey, orange juice, steel, aluminum, and other products. A decision we deplore. The American administration has made a decision today that we deplore, and obviously is going to lead to retaliatory measures, as it must, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said. Mexico announced what it described as equivalent to measures on a wide range of U.S. farm and industrial products, including pork legs, apples, grapes, cheese, steel and other goods. The S&P 500 trademark's packaged foods and meats industry sub-index Split fell 2%, with shares of meat producer Tyson Foods Inc., TSNN, falling 3.9%. For the EU, a decision on how far to push back will require agreement among the 28 member states that make up the world. Trademark's biggest trade bloc. Germany, by far the biggest exporter to the United States, is keen to avoid a wider trade war, especially as the Trump administration has floated the prospect of tariffs on cars. Other countries such as France favor more forceful retaliation against what they see as American bullying. The EU trademark's plans for retaliatory tariffs would hit Harley-Davidson motorcycles and bourbon, measures affecting the political bases of U.S. Republican legislators. Shares of Harley-Davidson Inc., HOGN, fell 2.2% and Brown-Forman Corp., BFB.N., maker of Early Times and other bourbon brands, lost 2.1% on Thursday. EU members have so far given broad support to a European Commission plan to set duties on February 8 billion euros, $3.4 billion, of U.S. exports if Washington ends tariff exemptions. EU exports subject to U.S. duties are worth 6.4 billion euros, $7.5 billion. We want open markets, free markets, but we have to convince the U.S. administration, German economy minister Peter Altmaier said. We tried to do it through negotiation and we will now do it by standing together and formulating a common European answer, possibly working more closely with Mexico and Canada. While the U.S. administration Euro trademark's decision to hit its European and North American allies with the metals tariffs was not aimed directly at China, it also sets the background for separate negotiations with Beijing, where Ross was headed for talks. The Trump administration wants China to buy more American goods to lower a trade deficit. Opponents of the tariffs on European and North American metals say it is hurting allies when it needs them most to help put pressure on Beijing. Euro countries, especially the major economies, should resolutely oppose all forms of trade and investment protectionism. China Euro trademark's foreign ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying told a media briefing, when asked about the U.S. move. French President Emmanuel Macron telephoned Trump to tell him he believed the tariffs were both a mistake and illegal, his office said. U.S. Chamber of Commerce President Tom Donahue warned in a letter to the body Euro trademark's board that current trade policies could threaten economic progress and cause the loss of more than 2 million jobs, mostly in states that voted for Trump.